A baking hot summer's day at Beeston Market Station, and Tom Stockton arrives with a special cargo on board his Foden steam lorry. A replacement gear wheel for one which has worn out at Peckferton grist mill. The railway's mobile crane is brought into action to transfer the load from the lorry to an open wagon. "Steady as you go, Arthur!" Manning Wardle 060 Hart Hill, scratch-built on a Pico motor block, is in charge of today's pickup goods, and takes the match truck, crane and open wagon from the bay to the run-round loop, where the rest of the train has already been marshalled. Our train awaits the arrival of the late morning up passenger, hauled by ex-Metropolitan Water Board Kerr Stewart 042 Bunbury. The coaches are based loosely on those which run on the Leakin Manifold Railway, bashed from Bachman Jackson Sharp coaches. The pickup goods gets the all clear and sets off down the line. My goods rolling stock is either adapted from off-the-shelf models or scratch-built. The two-plank open, in which the gear wheel has been placed, is a 3D printed Southwold railway wagon, designed and drawn using Tinkercad. These open wagons are made from my own resin castings, and the brake van was adapted from an LGB van using an old Garden Railway Specialist's kit. Our train passes beneath an overbridge, cast in situ from concrete, and crosses over a junction, which would never have existed on the real railway, on its way towards Beeston Castle Station. At Beeston Castle, Station Master Herbert Williamson greets the arrival of the train and supervises shunting operations. An empty coal wagon needs to be picked up from John Francis Coal Merchants and replaced with a couple of loaded wagons. I get a great deal of enjoyment and satisfaction from the logistics and mechanics of shunting operations, which is why I have opted for battery power and radio control, rather than track power or live steam. With shunting completed at Beeston Castle, our train now proceeds down the line towards Peckforton. We pass alongside the River Gowie as it tumbles down towards the mill at Peckforton. Mind your own business and moss thrive in this shady location. The train now coasts into Peckferton Station, where there is a thriving sawmill, which is supplied, in part, by timber from the Peckferton Castle estate. An up-full ore train passes through on its way from Bickerton Copper Mine to the exchange sidings at Beeston Castle. The train is hauled by Bayer Peacockish, Loco number 10 Tiverton, a much modified and anglified LGB starter set Staines locomotive. Some timber wagons and a coal wagon need to be deposited at the station, and so freelance diesel loco Doris is pressed into service. Doris, named after my 101-year-old mother, is a Houston Gate Loco Works kit, powered by two 14500 lithium-ion cells, controlled by a Deltang RX65 receiver controller, and with sound provided by an Acme sound card. With shunting completed, the midday down passenger arrives, with Station Master Willie Shaw in attendance. You may have noticed that my steam locos are named after local villages and communities, while internal combustion locos are all named after people, either my own family members or members of the Tollmash family, who owned Peckferton Castle at the time my railway is depicted. Once the passenger train has cleared the section ahead, the goods can depart. Passing over the impressive sandstone, well, actually plywood and balsa, viaduct. Before running alongside the Gowie once more, until Peckferton gristmill is encountered. The loco retrieves an open wagon from the mill siding. This scene was inspired by the mill at Wenneston on the Southwold Railway. In fact, the timber trestle bridge to the mill siding is modelled on that which crossed over the River Blythe on the Southwold. Once the wagon has been collected, the open wagon containing the gear wheel, together with the crane wagon and match truck, can be shunted onto the siding. Our train is now ready to continue its journey down the line, to deliver and pick up stock at Bukeley and Bickerton. Meanwhile, in the mill siding, the crane is hard at work, unloading the new gear wheel, closely observed by the two millers, Joe Neild and Joe Evans. In the background, the afternoon up passenger passes by. With unloading now completed, we are faced with a conundrum. How will the returning pickup goods retrieve the wagons from the down-facing siding? So, Doris is dispatched from Peckferton to help out. A little later, the up pickup goods approaches the mill siding from Bickerton. The loco detaches itself from its train of wagons and advances up the line towards Peckferton. Where it draws to a halt. This allows Doris to withdraw the wagons from the mill siding and attach them to the loco. Done, Doris can now retire back to the mill siding. The pickup goods can now be reassembled. And make its way onwards, towards Peckferton, Beeston Castle, and ultimately Beeston Market. And Doris can discreetly find her way back to the sawmill sidings at Peckferton, where she will happily potter about, shuffling wagons. A little while later, Beeston Castle Station briefly becomes a hive of activity, with the arrival of the mid-afternoon down passenger, the passing of the up pickup goods, and a down empty ore train chuffing past on its way towards Buckley. With its day's work more or less completed, Hart Hill coasts slowly into the loop at Beeston Market Station. I can never anticipate exactly what traffic my computerized freight management system will generate, and so every operating session is different. They aren't all as challenging and interesting as this one, but who knows what will happen next time.